Hi there, my name is Gabriel and welcome to Full Stacking with Gabriel. If you are new to my channel, I welcome you and I really hope you stick around. A little bit about myself. I'm a full stack developer, IT consultant, and solutions architect by profession. Over the last 20 odd years, I've been working for large corporates and international enterprises. Over the course of my career, I've been working on many different platforms using a bunch of different technologies. The upside of the information technology industry is that it is always evolving and that there are so many new things to learn on a daily basis. Now, the purpose of this channel is to share my experience and shed some insight into what I do on a daily basis as a full stack developer. At this point, I need to be honest. My preference is to work on the Microsoft tool stack. Over the years, I've become comfortable with the Microsoft technology tool stack and I favor it above other vendors and platforms. By that I mean, when I need to do coding, I choose .NET and C Sharp always. When I need to do database development, I choose Microsoft SQL Server. When I need to do data visualization or reporting, I choose either Microsoft SQL Server reporting services or Microsoft Power BI. If I need to do ETL or system integration, I choose Microsoft SQL Server integration services or the Azure integration toolset. For example, Logic Apps, Azure ESB, Azure Functions, and so forth. Now, there are many different ways to get the job done. I agree that there is no perfect solution to every problem. So if I cannot find what I need in order to complete my job or task, I normally look outside of the Microsoft tool stack. And at some point, I will create videos about such situations. What can you expect from this channel? Well, it's a bit of everything. Some videos will cover cloud solutions and features, and others will cover coding solutions. As the title of this channel implies, I will cover various stuff to increase your full stacking skill set. So, what will we cover in this video? Well, in this video, we will cover the basic ways to publish your .NET web application to Azure App Services. Now, to be honest, there are many options to do this. You can import the files from Azure DevOps, you can import the files from GitHub, you can FTPS the files, and so much more. But what we will focus on in this video is to pretty much do the publishing from Visual Studio. The reason for this video is that many developers still see Azure as a big black box. I think it is because Azure provides a vast array of features and many developers find it overwhelming. My view is that all developers should invest time into learning how Azure can empower them. Keyword here is empower them. I hope that over the course of the next few weeks, I can provide some useful tips and insight and increase your dependency on Azure as part of your daily development success. With that, let's get started. All right, first things first. All right, first things first. Let's navigate to the Microsoft Azure portal. I'm just going to type in some text here and I am going to select the Azure Microsoft.com URL. I am going to select on the portal link over there, and when I get prompted to enter my credentials, I am going to quickly provide that. All right, now I have logged in, and you will see there's a whole bunch of different features here that you can select from. For this demo, we are going to go to the app service link, and we are going to select add. And what we want to do now is we want to create a container for our website. So Microsoft provides a whole bunch of templates here that we can select from. And for now, we will just select the web app template. Then we go to select create and give the Azure portal a few minutes or a few seconds to do what it needs to do. All right, so at this point, we need to provide some parameters for our app service. For now, I'm just going to type in some dummy URL here. This URL is quite important because it's going to allow us to pretty much navigate to our application when we deploy it. So I'm just going to call it full stacking demo 1. Then for subscription, I already have one. I have test dev. We'll discuss this in another video as well. But essentially, your subscription is what is linked to your account, and when you are being billed, this particular subscription will be billed. For resource group, we are going to create a new resource group, and I'm just going to call it full stacking demo. The purpose of the resource group is to kind of contain all the different components of your application template. That way, when you need to apply policies, you can do it at the group level, and all the components lower down will inherit those policies. For the operating system, I'm going to keep it to Windows. For publish, I'll select code. For the app service plan, the app service plan allows you to specify what pricing tier you want to use. So Microsoft provides us with a default one, and you can see the package is S1, but I want to change that, so I'm going to select create new. I'll call it plan demo, and I will select something a bit closer to where I live, which is North Europe. And then for the pricing tier, I will select the free version, which is the dev test and F1. So we have that, select that, and then I will click on OK. For the application insights, we can click on this link here, and we can go and configure monitoring settings and also what type of application you are going to deploy. But for now, I will just leave it as default. We will come back to this in another video, and we can also change all of these settings once the website container is created. That I want to change to full stacking demo. Click on apply, and at this point, I now want to create my hosting container or space. I'm just gonna give it a few seconds for the Azure portal to kind of verify that I have provided all the information. And at this point, now the Azure portal goes off, and it pretty much does the necessary task in the backend to set up my hosting space. This only takes a minute or two, so we can just give it some time. All right, so it's all done. So let's go and have a look at what was created. So if I go to my app services link again, I should now see my website hosting space that was created, and it is also running. And there's a couple of other information here that you can see. So if I click on my full stacking demo and have a look at the overview tab, I will see that here's all the parameters that I have specified. So this URL, which I've created, which is a temporary URL, we can always replace this later on with a proper production URL. But if I go and click on this link, we will see a default page here that was created. And pretty much what it is saying is that it is now up and running and it is waiting for us to deploy our .NET application files. So I'm just going to close this for now. Well, I'll leave it open for now. All right, so just before we go and start deploying, what we've done now is we've only created the application hosting space. There are no files in it, so what we need to do now is we need to go to Visual Studio and we need to go and publish to the specific hosting space so that we can kind of view the application over the internet. So these other options here, we will cover some of them at a later stage. There are quite a few options here that you can go and basically use to configure your application a bit more granularly, but we'll get to that later. Right, so let's open up Visual Studio and let's create a new web application. I am going to choose the Microsoft ASP.NET Web Application Template. I am going to choose a location for it. And I'll call it full stacking demo 1 and click on create. At this point, it doesn't matter what template I choose, but let's keep to the defaults. And I am going to select MEC, select OK. All right, once my Visual Studio application is created, I can now go and just make sure that everything is kind of in order. So I'm just going to run the application, just make sure that it compiles and that it is working. All right, the application has started up. If I click on the links to make sure that everything functions properly, it seems like it is working fine. So I'm going to stop it. And now I am going to publish it. So I'm going to go and right click on my project and click on publish. Then on this dialog box, it's going to prompt me with some options. It's going to ask me if it wants me to create a new app service. And for now, I will select use existing. I click on advanced. For the configuration, I want it to be release mode. For publish options, I will leave it as default and click on save. Then I'm going to select the publish button here. All right, so if you have logged in already before, it's going to give you a list of all your subscriptions. If you haven't, you can always click on add an account and you can specify your Azure credentials. So it picked up that I have test dev, um, and if I look at the list at the bottom here, this is the hosting space that I've created. I'm going to select full stacking demo and click OK. And now what will happen is Visual Studio will compile the application, and then it's going to attempt to publish the files to Azure. All right, so it has completed with the deployment, and automatically it just wants to redirect to that URL, and we don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to close that. I am going to go back to the earlier screen that we were on. So this was the link, or this was the page that I initially opened when I clicked on that URL. So now I want to refresh this page. So I'm just going to click on reload, and there we go. My application is deployed to that URL, and it is now accessible over the internet. Now, just be careful for this particular service plan. You only have 60 minutes for it to actually be up and running. So when you don't use it, well, 60 minutes for a day. So if you aren't using it, click on the stop button, and when you need it again, you can go and start it. In order to do the deployment, you don't need to have it up and running. You just need to click on the start button when you want to navigate and interact with your application. Other than that, you can keep it offline. And that's how simple it is to deploy the application from Visual Studio.